fantastic. Dominating every facet. Treat the pocket like plastic. Here come the blitz, pass it. Got it on smash. Put on the gas. I will not crash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash. 100-yard dash.
We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go, and it should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders.
Check, 59. Come on.
They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch the pass. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight right. Go down.
On 2nd and 9, Darnold. And he fires a strike to his big target, Demaryius Thomas. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 42 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. Does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
This one caught by Crowder. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. On first down, Darnold. A screen to Bell. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Here's Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jonathan Abram, the rookie from Mississippi State. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Let's go. 180. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. You remember me. You remember me. Let's go, baby.
Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And his first carry, he loses the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. And this is going to be intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. Here's Carr to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jordan Willis. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Muhammad Wilkerson sacks him that time, coming in off the edge. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Darnold. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Darnold from the gun. But he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. That's good for 28 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big...
And caught by Thomas for a Jets touchdown. Demaryius Thomas, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. And after the touchdown, here's Bryant now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this is their third drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
At the 30-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
53, Mike 53. Oh, here we go.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs, sliding out of the pocket. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Second year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinator saying, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. So now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it.
2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Let's go, D.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. C.J. Mosley able to record his 5th sack of the season. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Let's go, defense.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Rip right. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch the Bravo.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 26.
A gain of 26 yards. And
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Pro Bowler C.J. Mosley, the Ravens' leading tackler last year, up to make the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
53 at the mark. Watch the screen.
From the 22, Carr, and he rifles one incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
That'll go as a pickup of 8. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Carr. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Carr. He'll find his running back here, Richard. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 4th down. The kick by Carlson is good. Last season for Carlson, a bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Bell running on 1st down, but he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The Pro Bowler, Muhammad Wilkerson, brings him down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet 1st down. A 1st down throw, Darnold. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Monday, down. You ready? You ready?
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it'll bring up third down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, you know, maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Here's Darnold. That one complete to Anderson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. He was the leading receiver for the Jets a season ago. Robbie Anderson, 50 catches, over 750 yards, and getting more and more comfortable with Sam Darnold. Now a year plus under their belts collectively. You'd figure that those numbers for Anderson might be trending further north. Darnold completes it, and he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. The tackle made by Benson Mayowa.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Darnold. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 22. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Shotgun now for Carr. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Willis able to record his 5th sack of the season.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Darnold. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Now the Jet. Going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Darnold now 9 of 17 through the air.
Watch the run, watch the run.
To throw is Darnold. Caught by Montgomery. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Darnold now to throw. Got an open man, it's a noon one. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Bryant's kick is good. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Carr going to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
59. Let's put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Back to throw, Darnold. That'll be taken in by Anderson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
That's good for Jets.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The product of Jersey City, Tahir Whitehead on the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Thomas has got it, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards, the final tally.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. And watch that. And watch the ball.
They'll go back to the ground with Bell. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Bell, of course, 3-time 1,000-yard rusher. Sat out 2018, but you look back to 2017, a tick under 1,300 yards and almost 700 more receiving. Darnold completes to Bell. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Darnold. And he's got it complete to Anderson. Anderson loses the football. And the Raiders pick it up. 20. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away.
The Jets take over 1st and 10
Let's go.
at their
Let's
own
go.
25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. A first down run for Bell, not going to get much, maybe a couple, and it's 2nd down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 27, Darnold. This is Bell on the dump-off. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Darnold from the gun. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. Darnold now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it with Bell. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. The shotgun snap for Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Move. We got 4. We got 4. 24 is the mic. Man, I got you. Man, I got you. 24 is the mic. Watch the curl. Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's able to get him a small cushion before being taken down at the 5, a gain of 3.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
What down? 180. I got you. I got you.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He's airing it out for Williams. He's got a man, complete. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. Well, that'll help get you out of danger. So much for playing it conservatively back towards your own goal line.
That aggressive mentality, sometimes you can use it, and they did there against a defense who probably thought to themselves, there's no way they take a shot here this deep in their own territory.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jacobs. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. From the gun, it's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Oakland. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Had a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Mike, check.
Here's Darnold. Open man is Robbie Anderson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
On first down, Bell. And a penalty flag is down to the backfield as they finally bring him to the turf. And I'm not sure this is going to stand. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Caught here by Bell. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Darnold. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field, and really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shane Ray in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Carr. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From just shy of midfield, Carr escaping the pressure right. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 23 yards the pickup there. That right there is what Jalen Richard can bring to this offense. I mean, last year, yes, he had 55 carries, but they used him more as a receiver. He had 68 catches in 2018, which was tied for the team lead. Really adds a nice element to the backfield for Derek Carr. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Raiders have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency.
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Le'Veon Bell with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. 17-17 the score, all even to this point as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 23-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Carr. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, 77 yards. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the 4th quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through. All the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet.
Come on, man. Let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And that will be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Yeah, let's get set lunch.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Running is Jacobs, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Here's A.J. Cole now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good pickup there at 22. Now it's Darnold. On the catch, it's Crowder. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
14.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Raider D, they get the football back. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Oakland, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals.